Okay, guys, today's topic is networks. Networks, in the sense, let me give you a scenario. Let me consider a image created, and in image there were two containers which I've created. Now, I want this containers, container one and container two, to communicate with each other. How can I do that? So, for doing that, I need to communicate, right? So for this communication purpose, we will use networks. So in networks, we have basically three types. And let me show you first thing Docker network, so that you can get the list of commands that we can use in Docker networks. So here we have ls command. So let me go with the ls. So if I see here, I can find three default networks. So those are nothing but bridge, host, and none, which I mentioned here. So bridge is nothing but it's a default one. Whenever we create a container, it will get created by using bridge. Okay, if we don't mention anything. If we mention, it will take that into consideration. So now let me check if I have containers. Yeah, I have four containers here. So let me check with one of my container. So for that, I'm using a command docker container, same like docker network here. I mean network inspect. We'll give the network name, right? In the same way, docker container inspect, we will give the container name. So here I got the container details. So if I see this container details, I have the IP address of my container 1 as 172.0.17.0.2. And if do the same thing for my container 2, I have IP address of 03. Okay. So this is how we have 02 and 03. And like this, if we see, every container will have the IP address. Starting these things will be the same and ending value will change. Okay, so these are all in a same network, as I mentioned you already. How can you find that it's in the same network, might be your question. So here, let me check docker network. So now I'm inspecting the network. Yeah, if I inspect the network, if I find the list of containers, yeah, here I have the list of containers, right? If I go down and see its name, see container 1, cont container 2. So these were the containers which were there in the same network. Okay. So now the containers which were there in the same network can able to communicate with each other. Let me show you how. And for that, I am now logging into my container. So let me log in docker exec -it and my container name and bash. So now I've logged into my container 1 and I'm trying to ping my container 2. Now my container 2 ID is this one, right? 172.17.0.3. So this is the same one. I'm trying to ping. See, I was able to ping my container. So this is how we can ping container. That means we can able to communicate with each other. Now I can able to do this by using ping in container 1 for container 2. Now let me check the same way if I can do for container 2 as well from container 1. Let me check that. For that I'm Now I'm in my root. Now again I'm logging into my container 2. For that, docker exec -it. Okay, now I've logged into my second container. Now I'm trying to ping my first container 172.17.0. I hope it's 2, right? Yeah. So check, I can able to communicate from here as well in the same way. Now I can able to ping each other by using IP address, right? Now let me check if I can really ping it with using its name as well. Can I do that? It is a question, so I have to check. Now I'm logging into my container again, docker exec -it container1 bash. So if I use this particular command, I can able to log into my container, and now I'm trying to ping by using, it is container 1, right? I'm trying to ping container 2. See here I had a response like bad address. So we cannot use container name for pinging, only it will be applicable in default one. Okay, so here as bridge is a default network, here I can ping, but I can only ping using IP address. Okay, and let me check for another network. Here container 1 and container 2 are able to communicate with each other, right? Now I want to create one more container, and now I don't want this container to be communicated with these containers. So how can I do that? Now for doing that, I am trying to create a new container. I am going to exit from here, and I'm trying to create a new container, docker network create gk bus. Okay, yeah, I created a new container. Now let me check container list, I mean network list. See, I got a new what we say network with gk bus name, and its driver is default bridge, but its name is gk bus. So I changed the name of the network, so I've changed the network here. So now let me run a container, let me create a new container. Now docker run -itd network. Now I'm trying to create a new container, right? So here the network, whatever the network I'm giving is gk bus. Okay, now name, I'm giving the name of my container. Now I'm creating it with ubuntu image and bash. So I've created a new container successfully. Now let me inspect docker network inspect gk bus. This is my new container, I mean new network. Right now I am going to inspect this. Now let me check. gk bus here, yeah, see containers. I have only one container gk bus in this particular one. Now let me check my container as well. Docker gk bus, sorry, container, my container inspect, my container name gk bus. Now if I see the IP address of this container, here it was with 19, previous it was with 17. So here my IP address got changed. That is nothing but I changed my network. So this one GK bus is with IP address 172.19.0.2. Okay, so now these two containers were in same network, so they were able to ping each other, and this network it cannot able to ping with them. So let me check if it really cannot ping. Let me log into my new container now. Ping 172.17.0.3. See, okay, command not found. Now, actually, I have to install ping. So, for installing ping, first let me apt get update. Next, apt get install IP utils. Ping. Yeah, now I've installed my ping. Now let me check. See, I'm not receiving any data from them. So this is nothing but I was unable to communicate with those containers. Even if I do the same thing from other two, container 1 and container 2 with GK bus, it will also give me the same response because they were not communicated with each other. Okay. Now let me consider another scenario. I am now creating another container gk bus 1, and this one is with same gk bus network. Okay, now let me get into my container. GK bus is the one which I've created now. Now let me create another container in the same network. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Docker run -it -network gk bus -name gk bus 1 ubuntu bash. Okay, now I've created another container in the same network. Now let me check if I can ping my container gk bus from here. So as I already said you, it is 172.19.0.2. So instead of that, now I'm trying to ping it by using name. Okay, so ping gk bus. When I tried doing it when I'm on my bridge network, it didn't work for me. Now I'm trying it by using Okay, again I have to install first thing. Now let me install my ping again as I did it previously. Get hyphen, sorry, apt hyphen get update. Now apt hyphen get IP utils hyphen ping. Yeah, I'm installing my ping. It's successfully done. Now I'm trying to ping my GK bus. See, now I can able to do this by using name as well. What it meant for is, if I am trying to do same thing by using bridge, it is a default one. So when I'm trying to do it with default bridge, we cannot use name. But when I'm using network which are user defined network, then we can use it, we can ping it by using either IP or name. Okay, so this is how we can ping or we can communicate one network with the another one. So I hope you people had a good knowledge right now on how to communicate from one container to the other container, right?